Hello everybody, this is Frogman and welcome back to Manufactio Nuclear Edition. Last episode we did a little bit of unlocking as far as processing machines, and I've done a small amount of rearranging and kind of just processing stuff. I was just kind of fooling around, just getting resources. So, you know, you go get a bunch of material, bunch of ores and start running them through a couple of things. So I figured we'd touch on that real quick and then touch on a couple other things. And then we're going to do a bunch of more science unlock. Hopefully get us some assemblers, get us some more stuff, get us some fun stuff. I didn't really want to try to go absolutely crazy building a kind of a very smallish production line until we could at least get a little bit more of a reason for it. So went ahead and made one more grinder, and we're currently doing a little bit of the stuff that is the fun that comes with this thing. So the first major step into getting ore doubling going with the whole process here, so let's grab us a little bit of, say, iron ore. In order to be able to ore double, we already know that we can just smelt it straight into an iron ingot. But what the interesting part is if you take a rocky chunk here, you can get a 50% chance, should say take an iron ore, it will grind down into a single iron rocky chunk with the 50% chance of getting you a second piece of rocky iron chunk with the grinder. The thing is, that's still just one iron ingot. It's just one iron ingot, but you're going to get ore waste or things or stuff like that, unless you run the stuff through a sieve. So you take that iron rocky chunk and you basically wash out the slag and anything left over, and you're going to get an iron chunk. 100% of the time, that iron chunk, if you run that again through a grinder, you're going to get pulverized iron times 2 almost every single time. So you're going to get quite a decent amount of stuff. Well, times 2, you 50% of this kind of stuff, but you're going to eventually get to the point where we can do a little bit more stuff. So once we get ore washers or things, we'll have a little bit more fun. So it's a way of getting a little bit more material out of your stuff, or at least guaranteed, or chances to make more things happen. So what I did, at least at this point, is I went and got a whole bunch of copper, whole bunch of iron, whole bunch of lead, and I'm kind of working through some of the tin, and we're washing it through the ore washer thingy sieve. The sieve is what it's called. Currently just kind of washing some of the stuff through various things. So what we're doing is I'm basically going and processing it as many times as I can until we can get as much stuff of it out as I can. Currently saving the ore wastes as well. The slag basically is what this is going to be. We'll mess with this. I don't know how much I'm planning on keeping for right now. We're going to go ahead and kind of work towards getting a little bit more storage, hopefully today too as well, but we're going to kind of hang on to this stuff for a little while. Lead, I'm kind of working on the lead and the tin because we're going to need solder. We're going to need solder ingots, and solder ingots are lead chunks and tin chunks or processed things. I mean, I guess I don't even need to smelt the lead, do I? I can just mix it either way. And the rocky ore chunks, all those kinds of things can go here. Either way, lead solder is going to be needed for the next set of circuits, and I do believe it's going to be needed for a few other things along down the lines. It's going to be one of those things in Modded Factorio, you solder your circuit boards together. It's one of the things you do have to make an ungodly amount of in Modded Factorio. So we're currently just kind of working through a whole bunch of stuff. I've been making a whole lot of coke dust as well. These guys should be pretty well done. Give me go here. We can just ungrind those. Because of the speed at which he made these things work, it makes more sense to cook the actual coke blocks or the coal blocks instead of doing other things. So that's been going well. We've got a couple of more things here. I keep trying to use this up so we have a little bit of bronze. Bronze is another thing we're going to need a lot of eventually. And of course, like I said, we've been making quite a few things. And I finally cleaned pretty much what was left of this hole up, so I'm probably going to go ahead and just cover this over so that we don't have this big gigantic hole behind us. But, you know, it is what it is. Now, let's go over here for right now, and we're going to go look at what we're doing. I went ahead and made a electric or powered miner, which powered miner is reasonably a little bit faster than the other one. It's actually done a pretty decent job. I set this up not all that long ago, and I'm powering it with one of these rudimentary generators. Now, rudimentary generator, once you let it heat up to 1000 C, which took about 5 minutes, it makes 200 RF a tick. 200 RF a tick is way more than what this thing needs to run. So technically, this one generator could probably run 2 of these, I think, maybe 3. I don't know. I haven't really messed with it. I just noticed that by the time it got over about 80 RF, that was about the time it hit the it hit the point where it wasn't, you know, it was starting to gather energy in its little buffer over here. So technically, that generator could run that, you know, another miner over on this lead patch, and we may end up going to do that eventually. But it's cranking through a few things. It's a simple, easy automation. Is just, you know, put a that kind of a deal, you know, a little chest with a hopper underneath of it with a couple of blocker deals pushing coal into here, and every so often it works on it. It's, you know, for what it's worth, probably reasonably efficient on what it's using. I know it's kind of looks like it uses quite a bit of coal, but it doesn't seem to be too terribly bad. So whether or not that's intended, hey, at least it's doing what we need to do right now, and I don't want to fall in there. We are going to work on more power because I've kind of already been kind of fiddling a little bit with it. We're going to have to start building more generators and more things and more stuff, but we need a little bit more power distribution, I guess is what you want to say. We should be researching the wires today. At least several of the other things I wanted to kind of mess with. That's pretty much the other thing that I've been playing with. We'll talk about this in a second. One thing that I did find out, and I've been kind of fiddling with these pumps, and let's get this out of our way so we can actually see. I think I broke one. Yes. Okay. Oh, yeah, you won't work anymore because I did this. Pay attention to when it says 4 times or 4 radius. These pumps can pull a, you know, from a 4 radius block around them, including down. So I kind of ruined the thing over there, the river a little bit over there. It's that section over here. I had several of them working in it, and I kind of ruined it. It may or may not work. But one of the things that you can do is if you're close to a river, as long as you're in a river biome, water is going to replenish itself. So dig down 3 or 4 blocks. That way the pump can pull water from out from underneath of it for quite a ways. It's managed to make this work quite well to the point that I think probably really only need 2 of them. The reason why I did what we did over here is that this thing's a mess. The reason why I did what I did was I was just goofing around. I wanted to see how many of what I could do with certain things, because this thing will dynamically run depending on its draw. I think they'll make up to like 400 watts of power inside here. That equates to whatever it is as far as things go. Right now, it's enough to run all of these machines and this thing at the same time practically. So I decided I was going to sit here and try to make sure that I could get enough steam into it to actually make it run all the time. So I looked at the configs, and the configs say we can have 12 blocks max per boiler. That is one of those things about better boilers, is the configs will tell you how many blocks you can have as far as better boilers are concerned. So of course, you know, I get bored, I stare at a bunch of junk, and I say, well, I can make a bunch of more boilers, but a bunch of more boilers burn more coal. The whole point about working with better boilers is to try to make a boiler that is as efficient as you possibly can make it with the coal. So that's about as much as I'm planning on fooling with. 2 things I've already noticed. You don't need the vents to make this work. So you can immediately take the vents out of one of those things and then rebuild. Basically what I did is I crafted a couple of those packages, and we have a bunch of leftover parts in here. What I did was I got rid of the vents, and I made enough of the pumps so that I could get all of the water out of it. So 2 pumps will get all of the steam out of that thing as fast as it possibly can do it. There's 1,000 buckets or 1,000 millibuckets per tick using 2 of them. I need 3 drains, I should say valves, to get all of the water into that thing so that that boiler can work as best as you possibly can do it, at least at that size. But what the fun part about the boilers are, especially better boilers are, is that there's no reason at all, period, to make the tanks. There's no reason at all to make the, what are they called, boiler, these things, these parts right here, the boiler blocks, other than to make the parts for the other one. So in any other mod pack that you're allowed to build all of the boilers that you can normally do without having to use this package right here, you can do the same thing. Just because somebody gave us a package doesn't necessarily mean you can't make a bunch of them, uncraft them, and then fiddle with it until you get it to the way it works. So we have, I think, 7 boiler blocks, firebox. I know it looks like crap. I know it looks terrible, but 7 is making more steam than this thing can possibly handle right now, run wide open. I know in the picture it shows 2. I know in the picture it shows 2. I just decided I'd make it the way I wanted to. So this thing should be able to easily keep up with this, and probably should be able to keep up with, where is it? Power. Probably be able to keep up with the steam turbine that we have yet to build. So I may start looking at that here very shortly as far as things go. We need to let all of this stuff kind of run out and get a few things over with so that we can kind of continue on. I think we're about done. Are you done? You're full. Beautiful. We need to do something with all this. I'm making a lot of coke dust because we're going to need a lot of coke dust eventually. It's going to be one of the major uses is going to be making basic electric components, I do believe, and those are going to go into every single circuit board that we're going to make from here on out. So that is a major thing that you're going to be building an awful lot of, to the point that I'm just going to keep filling those things up with coal blocks and, you know, going on. Now, I have been kind of cheesily, whatever, not worried about this stuff. I'm not, give me that back. Give me that. Go. I don't have a way to store it. And until we get to a little bit later on with how things work, there's no real reason to store it. I'm going to have thousands upon thousands of this stuff made between the time we get to where we actually be able to make stuff with creosote oil. So I'm just getting rid of it because that's all I can do for right now. I think over here we're doing pretty good. We're doing a few things. I've got a little bit of more stuff going on in here. We're finally starting to get a little bit of nickel, which is going to give me another thing that I can use to make more mining tools and things out of. I'm not mining nearly as much. Now that I found that out, I may go ahead and just set up a couple of more miners over there and let them chew it up. We have eaten up almost all of the local material that's really close right now. And again, one thing like that, this is kind of one of those deals you go back at it and you look at it and you go, well, if I could get that toll chunk mined out and everything else works like that, then I could just set a whole bunch of those little guys in a row and make a power station out of them and not use this other system. But, you know, it's kind of just back and forth kind of things. The steam generator, that dude will stop running when it runs out of power. Those Enderift generators will stop running once the buffer that is next to them that they're filling is full and their own buffers are full. Then they'll stop running, but they'll cool off, which means they'll stop making a lot of power. So you kind of, I don't know, that's just a kind of a test for me for right now. We'll see how it goes. I don't think there's anything other than those of us. I know I didn't touch on the sieve last time. So the sieves are very, very simple. Basically, you take a rocky chunk of something, you put it into the sieve processes it into 3 different things, and those 3 different things, come here, you, the outputs for those things are on the bottom of the sieve. So read the manual, read the thing, understand. The outputs are on the bottom. Made no sense, but it's fine. It's all hooked up. That's why this chest is where it is, and we're doing the stuff that we're doing. So let's see. This is just going to be kind of those things that we're going to work on as we go. So what I want to do today, I guess for a little bit, is we want to mess with a little bit more technology. I want to, well, for one, I'm going to go ahead and get that because we need it. Nah, come here. And I did go ahead and make a little bit more of the red science. The way that this pack is structured, we don't need to make a massive amount of a lot of this stuff continuing on forward. I do believe Golrith has mentioned several times that it's like you're going to finish the red tree and then you're going to unlock the green tree. You're going to get into the green tree and then the red tree kind of just goes away except for when you're crafting some of the later sciences. So don't go absolutely crazy automating everything right off. Make what you need, then kind of look at where we need to go. So what we're going to do for sure, I want that, thank you, because we need those desperately. And then I want to look into automation. We need that guy. Sweet, thank you. So the assembling machine 1 will automate recipes with up to 3 ingredients. Place it in plan and the correct ingredients and the items will be crafted. It's going to use 100 RF to tick to run, and it's going to run at a -5% speed. That's wonderful, great. However, we'll deal with that as we go. I also want to make sure we get this, so we'll go ahead and turn that in. That'll get us a little bit more fun stuff. And then let's go look at logistics. Logistics. Well, we've got a few things here we need. I think I want that. How much do we have? Okay, there's two things in logistics I want right now. So metal chests, we need them. It's just a given. And I want that basic logistics item router. Thank you very much. So that's going to knock a bunch of stuff out. How much is this? 5. These are really cool, and we may play with them. We may not. I'm not going to fool with it right now. I might go ahead and just get that. How much do we have left? 14. I've got 25 left. Okay, cool. We're going to have a lot of stuff to play with, so let's just kind of dig through. Oh, no, dummy. You're forgetting one thing that you were going to get. Where is it? Down here. How much was this? Give me that. Thank you. And that. Give me that. Submit. Thank you. Cool. All right. Now we got a whole bunch of junk to play with. That will get us a little bit better stuff. Gets us a Thompson SMG and a double barrel shotgun, which means we can make a little bit better of a weapon past this thing. Now, as far as I already went and made a bunch of steel stuff, and I'm probably going to end up just hanging on to it this time, but we'll kind of play around with this as we go. So I'm interested to do some of the things that we have in our inventory today. So let's see. Bandit armor set, I'll worry about that off camera. That I'll worry about. That was combat shotgun. Oh, that's my favorite one. Cool. Power drill can go back in here. Assembly machine, basic circuits, unlocks metal chests, item router, things. So we're going to play with these today and see what we can do. So you come over here and go away for now. A lot of this is going to take quite a while to process. First thing I want to mess with right now is the LV wires, because if we have LV wires, we can kind of start doing a little bit more unification of various things. So that is going to be copper, cobblestone. Thank you. Wow. Really? Where did I put it all? Now, we've got a little bit. That's why I've been farming it. Wonderful. Well, give me. Tough fabric. Go ahead and make it all anyway. Or at least make a few of them. We'll go set up a nice big hemp farm eventually. I need to actually go ahead and get that done in between episodes because the stuff takes forever to grow. So LV wire. Let's look at this. LV wire. Everything is going to be this into that, and then this can be done into that. Beautiful. Love it. Thank you so much. Is that all? Hang on. Use on that, please. So cobblestone, tough fabric. So we need some cobblestone and some stuff. Let's do that. And we'll make a few of these. Thank you. And a few of those. Make a bunch of these. Cool. What else do we need? In order to get the LV wire, we need some LV energy ducts, which are okay. Now, that's where I was kind of wondering when that stuff was going to start coming to get a little bit nasty. Where is all of the copper wire that I have plus some wood? Whoops. What did you do? I made a whole bunch of connectors. Beautiful. How many wires did we get out of that? 10? Boy, that's expensive. Wow. Where did it go? Hello? Where did you go? Oh, I don't have enough of them. What did we short? What are we short? We need some of that. There we go. Make a bunch. And then make a bunch. And then make a bunch of that. Cool. Put that away. Put that away. Put this away. We'll put the redstone away. So that removes the rads from that. Interesting. Very cool. Cool, cool, cool. Well, what that'll let me do is that'll let me come over here and grab this stuff that we've got over here. And, I mean, do we have posts? We do have the posts. So that's going to be treated wood. This is going to be steel posts. And this is going to be aluminum posts. And this is the expandable stuff. Cool, we can make those. Let's get a... I think those will work for just a minute. I know it's kind of dumb. I'm just going to goof for a second here. Give me a minute. Let's build a couple of pieces. Let's see. The extendable posts. These are fantastic. I wish this was part of the base game. It is not. Go ahead, toss one of those in there. I'm pretty sure I have some in here, though, so we'll just make a couple of little quick things. These are fantastic. Thank you. And extendable post. Beautiful. That's the base thing there. 24 of those should do the work. So I think if I do this, no, you don't like those. Let me see. At what are we going to get to use? I think it's probably going to want to use any of the metal fences that we get. So let me see. Where is the... You have a trash can. You don't need them. Go away. No, don't throw that away. Throw that away. Where's my axe? There it is. Shoot it. Make sure it's dead. Beautiful. Iron fence should work, right? How do you make iron fence? Can I make iron fence? How do you get an iron rod? Am I going to be stuck in this hole where I can't do anything for a certain period of time because I can't make... leaded concrete slab. Concrete slab. So, rods. Are we going to be stuck on building rods for, like, ever? Casting machine. Lathe. Lovely. Where's the casting machine? I'm assuming it's going to be somewhere in processing, right? Yeah, we'll find it later. I'm not in the mood to kind of sit here and spend all day trying to find things. I know I've been kind of playing and just screwing around anyway today, so that sucks. That means I can't make... Those are fences. Those are fences. I can't make steel rod without a casting machine or a lathe. We need to find a rod that we can craft. And they're all metal molds, casting machine, lathe. I think. Steel is this. Iron, I can't use stone. Gold, copper, lead. Silver, I can craft, but I don't have any silver. Constantan. Or uranium. Can we make a little bit of Constantan real quick? Because I'd like to be able to utilize these posts. So I don't think so. Let's check. Constantan, blend, pulverized copper, pulverized nickel, mixed into that makes that. That's an awful lot of work for some fence posts. Let me get out of here so this continues to work. Iron, and we'll just put the lead down here for now too. So Constantan, electrum. I mean, we can do that. I mean, it's just that. And then cook it. All right, well, I'm going to do that. We'll let that run for a minute. I probably should have split those up a little better. Give me about half of that. Thank you. And do this. And I need to put some hole in things. Again, well, you can have that there. We're fooling around. It's kind of the fun part about trying to figure out a couple of things. Today's all been about me just goofing around, trying to figure out whether or not something's going to work or how to make things work. So this to that to that. Yeah, okay. So that'll work. I just want some fence posts, man. I want to be able to use the posts, these, because they make for nicer posts, and that way I can get my power lines off the ground. So we'll look around and we'll do a few things. The reason why I'm worried about it is because we're going to have to start thinking about where we're going to build our power generational area, at least in this spot. This is okay. It's just that, well, we're going to get some better stuff, which is going to need more water than I can produce from right here. So we're going to do a little bit of work and make it work a little better. Plus, you know, overall, we're going to need a lot of power. It's just one of those, you're going to have to start thinking about it. But I don't necessarily say that I want to base around where I'm going to have power. Power is going to be one of those things you're going to leave it alone and, you know, try to transfer it back somewhere else. So how are we doing over here? Have you been okay? You're making lots of coal for us. Beautiful. Even so much as, like, I can hook this stuff up to this guy and then feed it back over there, and it can kind of help for a little while. I mean, I know we're still in the goofing around stage. I'm not trying to be serious. I'm not trying to be perfect with things. I'm not even trying to think about how I'm going to lay out the rest of the base to do stuff. I'm in the trying to understand what's changed, what's different, what's not stage. So gosh darn it, go away. I'm sorry, this is going to get loud unless they despawn. Okay. Anyhow, we got our LV wires. We're going to let all that kind of work for a second. Let's play with the assembly machine. Resources. How do we make? How I make. You want 3 circuits, iron gears, a chest, and some iron. Do we have any more circuits left? I was wondering when I was going to have to make circuits. I've been trying not to, but I guess we need to do redstone, copper wire, wooden board. Do I have any more boards left? No. Uh-oh. Did I use up all the wood we had to make a bunch of wood to be stupid? Yes, I did. Go ahead and just do that. That's fine. Make a bunch of those. Like, that's plenty. Okay. And then we need circuits. Circuits is this. So we need redstone, copper wire. Circuits. Just go ahead and make all of them into stuff. That's not what I wanted to do. Thank you very much. More single spot chests that I don't need right now. We'll use them eventually, but I don't need them right now. So lovely. Okay, cool. Those can go away. That can go in here. I'm starting to get to a point where we've got crap floating everywhere, which is why I want those metal chests. Circuits, radiation, Cool 1. What are we looking for? We needed whatever this could do, which is... I gotta quit hitting the R on that use. Circuits, chest, and some iron. Gears. You'd think by now I'd have so many chests it'd be ridiculous. Assembly machine, package part 1. Beautiful. Do this. Let's put this down. Like right here, I guess. Cool. Give me that and that. Well, that can stay in here for right now. Did you get it all? No. No. Where's the power block? It's in the middle. Where's the controller? Oh, he's right there. Whatever. We'll build it right there. Cool. Assembly machine. Oh, you're out of power. Hang on 1 second. Bonk and bonk and bonk. Go. Structure found. Now, what can we make with this thing? Assembly machine, whatever, is going to be what? I probably clicked the wrong button, didn't I? So basically, this thing can craft anything I want it to craft with the specific recipe that we give it, right? So if I give it, like, say, this, and I want it to make... That's an input. That's an input? Oh, no, not that. This. Will you make science? You will, I hope. That's a good test. Cool. All right, so you make science that way. I don't want any more science. We're going to handcraft science, I think, for quite a long time, because I'm going to... Not that I'm concerned about wasting resources, it's just that there's no point in overcrafting certain things at this point. But there are some things that I know this thing can make for us, and that is going to be circuits. And I want to do the circuits next because I need to be able to do that. I want some item routers. The reason why I want some item routers is because these furnaces are faster than those are right now. Now, once we get the preheaters, sure, those are probably going to be faster. These furnaces are faster now, but I can't automate them the way that I want to automate them. But if I get a few item routers, I can. So let's see. Circuit. The next circuit is going to be this one, which is going to be a board. We need solder. We need basic electronic stuff, which is going to be coke dust and tin wire. Did I make any tin wire or tin wire? Tin wire? Tin wire. Read that again. Solder wire, tin wire. Okay, I was beginning to wonder when I was going to start using some of this tin up. I have tin plates. I made tin plates. I made tin plates already. Use those first. So we'll do some of this. You make wire, go. That'll make some tin wire for us. Then I should have made solder. No, not made any yet. Okay, we'll put some of that in here with that. That'll make some stuff for us for a second. Let's get that cranked out, and then I guess I need to cook some lead up. Have I even pulled any of the lead yet? No. Wonderful. Let's put some of this in the system. You. And you. I know, it's kind of fun. Back and forth and back and forth. I feel like I'm playing Factorio right now. Because the initial beginning of just cramming machines full of stuff by hand, it's awesome. I love it. Go ahead, do those, I suppose. Fine, that'll do. I guess I don't need to do that, do I? Give me one of those. I don't need to do that, do I? You'll do it like that, won't you? No, you probably won't. You're probably going to want tin. Yeah, it's one of those recipes. Thank you. Lovely. Okay, cool. So you can just cook this up then, and then you guys will give me some more of this. Just this back and forth. I love it. Go ahead. Kick there. Okay, and then solder needs to be mashed into a plate first, I believe. Use. No, you're just straight into the wire. Okay, well, that's a nice thing. Cool. So we need to be able to make basic electronic components in here. So that's coke dust and 3 tin wire makes 5 of those. Coke dust. So what recipe do we need for that? AO2 unlocks basic circuits. So if I put that in here, tin wire, coke dust. Give me that. All right, we're going to let those make for a little bit. All right, I think it finished all of those. It did. Good. So we got a few resistors, basic electronic components. Those are cool. All right, the next step I want to do, or I should say we need to do, is required energy, solder wire, solder, whatever. What are you going to call it? And some of those. We're only going to take that many for right now because you should just be this, that, that, and that. Get out of there. Right? Excellent. And then we'll make our first number 2 circuit. Oh boy, look at the radiation running up on those. So, item router is going to require some inserters, some iron plates. Let's go make some iron inserters really quickly. The only reason why I'm doing this is because this works, right? This whole idea, the old school way of doing things, but you can kind of automate these things a little bit differently. You can stick item routers in place of these hoppers up here with a single hopper on the end of it, and then item routers on the back with a single hopper on the end of it. And what it'll do is it'll push all of the materials that you stick in one end of this thing into the inventories that it can see. These are inventories. Now, I'm not 100% certain if it's going to work, but I'd like to try. So let's see. We need a couple of inserters, which are that plus some more circuit boards and some iron. I'm glad I went and made a whole bunch of stuff. Let's see. Click. Click. And what do you want? Come on. Gear, iron. Did I not get iron? I have iron. Iron gear. I didn't put all that. Oh, I was going to say. Not cool. We're going to make a couple of them for right now. So let's see. Item router. Puts you away. LV wires. Metal chests. What did you do with it? I thought we unlocked it. LO1, item router. Yeah, where is it? Oh, it's right there. Blind as a bat. Can I make, what does it take? Use. 2 of those, some iron, and a couple of those. 2 of those, some iron, and a couple of those. Where are our circuits that we just got? Did I leave them over here? Look at me. Gimme. Make for me a few of those. How many do we get? 5. What are we short? We're short the other things. Okay, so what I wanted to test before we end today is how whether or not these things are smart enough to understand what to do with coal if I put it on the back of one of these, right? Inventory is full of stuff. Throw some of this in here, please. Put those in there and those, and that'll be fine. And I went ahead and made me some fences, and just to make sure they function. Awesome. Cool. So I'll have a way of being able to run stuff past that. I don't mind it because there's nothing you're going to need out of Constantan anytime soon. So if I do this, and I grab the coal out of here, and I put it in this one, and then I do this, so let's see. I should actually look and see what they are. What direction is that? Where are we looking? We're looking north. So if I put north here, it should do this. And then if I say this is what? West? West is going to be something that should never be there, so that way it doesn't cycle backwards. So don't cycle backwards, and north. And put some coal in it. Does it work? Yes, it does. Beautiful. Okay, so that's going to be an expensive way of getting that to work, but what that means is I can then just bury this somewhere, get it out of my life. We can put a bunch of these up on top of here as well. I'm not going to say we're going to use this forever. It's just that it's fast. The regular furnace is faster than those are right now. So I would rather just use regular furnaces. To be totally fair, that doesn't take near as much room, and you know, it's just going to be easier that way. So I can, like I said, right here, we can do this. Give me that back. Actually, you don't need to be there anymore, do you? Come here, you. If I do the same thing, understanding this is an inventory, which technically I can use that as an inventory. Let's see. So we're looking east. So if I say east on you is whatever. Nah, we're going to break that out of the way. But technically now, all I have to do, and the reason why I'm doing this is because they're going to evenly spread stuff across all of their interfaces. So if I grab, well, some of this stuff that we have over here and do this with it, take that out, it'll fill this one up, or at least should fill that one up. It's going to fill the end one up first, and then fill that one up. Beautiful. Okay, so that'll try to evenly spread it out between both of the interfaces or whatever they're touching so that I don't have to worry about coming over here and hand feeding this thing anymore. All I got to do is stick stuff in a chest or import stuff from one of those, stick it into one of these, and it'll work. Yes, this is not the greatest thing in the world to try to do right now because of the fact that it can, if it wants to, push stuff backwards into that hopper, but that's fine. Not worried about it right now. I think we're good to go. Next episode, we're going to start playing around with a whole lot more fun stuff. I'm going to probably go ahead and do a whole bunch more fiddling around with things. We're going to actually start working towards getting maybe some more of this legit. Well, we're trying to pretty much just get rid of all of the red research right now. So we have a while to go before any of that's going to be able to be usable, I think, but I'm going to continue to kind of just build parts and build things, and we'll get to where we need to go to do some stuff. I'm just trying to get all the machines together that I know we're going to be hanging on to for a little while. We're going to have more of these. We're going to have a bunch of other stuff to play with, and I think for now, ladies and gentlemen, it might have been an all over the point episode, and I'm going to have a lot of fun editing it because I'm going to just have to have some time. But I think for the next one, hopefully, possibly, we're going to start laying down assembly lines and building out ideas for, well, how we're going to continue on forward. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Bye.